connecting to Beis Medrash, Baruch Hashem, and wanted to take the opportunity to discuss a little bit the Indian, the Kedushas Beis Medrash, and Maisa, we took a long break from being in the Beis Medrash for Torah and Tefillah, and now we're starting to come back in, and Avada, it's an opportunity for us to mechazik in how our attitude is towards coming in, coming back, and being invited back into the Beis Medrash. And we have to have the right opportunity, the right mindset, the right kavanah, and the right meisim, also, in treating the cover of the Beis Medrash properly. So, I'm not going to give we'll just talk some of the basic halachas and some of the inyanim and the sugyas to understand the chomer adavar, and maybe discuss a little bit of l'maisa as well. So, first of all, there's a big machlokes between the Rishonim. What is the yesod of the Kedushas Beis Medrash, Beis Hakneses? Where does it come from? So, the Mishnah Berurah starts off right away that it comes. The Mishnah Berurah brings it from the Sefer Yereim, or in the Chavetz Chaim, he's bringing the Sefer Yereim as well. That it's a mitzvah deraisa to give cover to Beis Medrash. Als a mikdash ma'at, when it says va'ayla mikdash ma'at, or mikdash ksiv as mikdashi tiro, she amiroi shal hashoichin ba'alav, she ba'avin kal. So it comes from that the same place as the Moyer mikdash. The Indian is a mitzvah deraisa according to the Yereim to give cover to Beis Hakneses als Moyer mikdash. That's where it comes from according to the Yereim. The etzem Indian of the Kedushas Beis Hakneses. The etzem Indian of the Kedushas Beis Hakneses is the machlokes between the Ran and the Ramban. What's the Indian? The Ramban says that the Kedusha of Beis Hakneses is like Tashmisha mitzvah. Tashmisha mitzvah is like tzitzis, lulav, those things. While you're doing the mitzvah are kaddish, because you have to give cover to the mitzvah, but they don't have inherent Kedusha. And since they don't have inherent Kedusha, if you're finished with the mitzvah, they lose their Kedushas. That's why the Ramban talks about why you're allowed to sell a Beis Hakneses when it's finished. When you're done using it, so the Kedusha is over. So it's Tashmisha mitzvah. However, the Ran says it's really Tashmisha Kedusha. And Nistama, he says it was Derabbanan given as Tashmisha Kedusha. There's Kedusha be'etzem in the Beis Hakneses. Nistama, since it's used for Kriyas HaTorah and it's used for Tefillah, it's not just a place that you do a mitzvah. It's not just you use it for a mitzvah, but there's an inherent Kedusha in the Beis Hakneses, according to the Ran, and it's B'Derabanan of Tashmisha Kedusha, and how that works in the end to go and take away the Kedusha when you want to sell it. That's the whole Indian of the Ran there. Maybe you could do a pidyon, and Rabbi talks about maybe different inyanim how it would work to take off the Kedusha. Maybe you can be paid off on the money or other inyan. But at the end of the day, according to the Ran, the Iker, there is an inherent kedusha in the Beis Hakneses. According to the Yereim, it sounds like that it's mamish like a Beis Hamikdash. Now, there are a few things that we're not allowed to do in the Beis Hakneses. And one of those things is kalus roish, things which are not serious, things that, just cause a light attitude, and you're not allowed to do that in the Beis Hakneses because the ein oichlen b'shoysin b'hem. You can't not eat and drink in the Beis Hakneses. Only tamidei chachamim mutar l'achov lishus b'hem midoichak. The ein mechashvu mehem cheshbonis, and you cannot make cheshbonis in them. And the Gemara's mavur that's also like kalas rosh. So like having a meeting, like a board meeting, is kalas rosh apparently, according to the Gemara says, and you're not allowed to have that in the Beis Hakneses. But what's with this Indian of the eating and drinking? So no eating and drinking in shul. That's what it says. So l'maisa, we look around and it seems like there is eating and drinking in shul. People do eat and drink in shul. So first of all, Nistama is probably better not to. Shulchan Aruch says you shouldn't, and Nistama is better not to eat and drink in shul. The heterim that are brought to eat and drink in shul, so the Shulchan Aruch brings one, that Tamidei Chacham, while you're there, midoichak it's mutter. And basically, there's two basic mahalchim, why it's mutter. One is Meshita of the Ramban and the Rashba. The Ramban and the Rashba hold, Mishnah Berurah brings it a few times in these Simonim, and helps Beis Hakneses. The Ramban and the Rashba hold that it's mutter to eat in the shul midoichak. And the Mefarshim, what does it mean midoichak? Midoichak means that you would have to go home otherwise. You would have to go home otherwise, and you would basically misbatal either from tefillah b'tzibur, or misbatal from learning, or some reason why you would end up using the Beis Hakneses less. So therefore, midoichak or there's no other place, even aniyim, there was a mitzvah of some sort, or a sudas mitzvah like he had over Ibar Chodesh, but that may be different out there. But midoichak it was mutter. That's very limited, So obviously, that doesn't apply to many other things. That's what the Aruch HaShulchan says that we rely on. Is pretty much the Ramban, although it's not 100% clear in the Mishabur that we even paskin like the Ramban. But Ramosha says in the Tshuva and the Aruch HaShulchan say we paskin like the Ramban, and you can be lenient based on the Ramban midoicha, but then it has to be dafka midoicha. Now, people tend to say that you could do that in a shul because it was made on tonight. Everyone knows this thing. Tonight covers this, tonight covers that. Now, the Maisa, the Shulchan Aruch paskins in Kufn Nalf Sefirav, in B'Shas Binyan, Beis Hakneses, Histo Olav Lehishtamish Boy, Mutter Lehishtamish Boy, B'Churbanah. There is no such thing as tonight. Tonight works for one thing. That if you have a shul in Europe, that is not being used anymore, so then it was made out tonight. So then maybe you could use it for something else, but it has nothing to do with while the shul is being used, according to the Shulchan Aruch. Most Rishonim, it's a Machlokas Rishonim. That's the way the Shulchan Aruch passes. It's Lemahani tonight. I'll be Yeshuva Lemahani tonight. So according to the strict Shulchan Aruch, tonight wouldn't work. So the only thing that would be mutter, all of the things that we read, which means Kal Shoish, Kigon Tzchoik, V'Hito V'Sicha B'Tela, V'Ein Oichem V'Shoisim, and all these things. But now there's no tonight, and the only thing is it's mutter midoichak. Now the Aruch HaShulchan throws in that Sicha B'Tela is also mutter midoichak because the same thing. If you can't talk, you're not going to come. As the Aruch HaShulchan says. So basically, a little bit of Sicha B'Tela he says also midoichak. He says is a doichak. But the Ikra Halacha is that unless it's doichak, there's no tonight. However, the Biur Halacha does bring that you could mitzvah Das Rashi. The Das Rashi says that you can make it tonight, and he also brings a Magen Avram that perhaps you can make a tonight for the basic Hakneses while it's Oided Kaim. I want to talk about this Magen Avram because it's a Shmaka Lomdus over here. Magen Avram asks a kasha. He says that I don't understand what you're saying that you don't. How can we say that Mechaber passes that you cannot make a tanai while the shul is oided kaim, only the korban while it's not being used? It says Shulchan Aruch paskins that a bima or an aron you can use for other things which are not kaddish if you made it al tanai, and those things are while it was being used for an aron or while it's being used for a bima. So you walk into the bima, and oftentimes you'll see on the bima. That there's hats and tissue boxes and all sorts of things that are sitting there on the bima. So how could they be on the bima? The Gemara says you're not even allowed to sell a bima. There's a very high level of kedusha on the bima. So what's pshat? So it seems like that there's some sort of tanai. So it's understood that those types of things end up being put on there. Oh, the other hat maybe is because it's not on the bima itself. There's a lot of coverings on it. But the Magen Avram says that we do see that a tanai is used for certain things of kedusha even while they're being before it's churbanah. So what's pshat? So Magen Avram says must be that he has a teretz to this tira. Pidyon. So the Biur Halacha says gavaldik teretz, and it's very important. He says like this. He said, you know what? If you want to use a tanai while the Beis Hakneses is still active as a Beis Hakneses, and you want to say, but I made a tanai that you're allowed to eat and drink and do whatever you want in the shul. So he says, what type of tanai is that? It has Kedushas Beis Hakneses. The Kedushas Beis Hakneses says you're not allowed to do those things, but I'm making a tanai that you could. Either you could, you can't. What type of tanai is it? So Zok the Biur Halacha, unbelievable chumrah. He says, you know what the tanai is? If you're doing that, then what the tanai is that really I'm just davening in a room, but it's not a Beis Hakneses. So pshat is, of course you could do that for a bima and an aron, because there's no mitzvah to have a bima and an aron. Let's say you have a shul with no bima and no aron. Okay, so you put it to the Sefer Torah on the table and you lay. It's not the end of the world. If you don't have an archive, state epis that you need to have it, but he says a Beis Hakneses. There's a chiyuv koifin. The Ramosha brings from the Rambam. There's a chiyuv v'asuli mikdash. There's a chiyuv to have a Beis Hakneses. There's a chiyuv that yidden that live together in a place have to build a Beis Hakneses. So what are you going to do? Get together the money, build a Beis Hakneses, and make it tonight that it's not a Beis Hakneses. So you're being mevatel mitzvah seseh, building a Beis Hakneses. Number one. Number two, that you're not davening in a shul. So you lose all the miles of davening in a shul. So if you're so busy making it tonight that you don't want to be mevatel the Kedushas Beis Medrash. So what you ended up doing is you made it into not a shul. That's the Biur Halacha's mahalach to answer the Magen Avram's kasha. That he says that the only way to be matir a tanai when it's kaim to be matir certain things is to goof take away the Kedushas Beis Hakneses. according to most Rishonim not like Rashi. So in Rashi maybe there's a different lumdus, but in the mainstream Rishonim and everyone else, he says that's the only way that tonight would work if you want to make it tonight. But oidei kain, it's gufa not a Beis Hakneses. So Rabbi as a tshuva, for example, says back in those days. So they even for tzedakos and even so there was all these they would make these parties, he calls them, with mixed dancing and stuff that was completely awesome. These gatherings. And the gatherings that were awesome, and they would go for doing it in a shul. So Moshe says, Miman Avshach. He basically says, Miman Avshach. He says, if they made a Tanai, so then to be mad to this. Now this thing, there's no Tanai, even according to any Rishonim that it works. Because even if you made a Tanai according to the Rishonim that it works, it doesn't work for Kalas Rosh. And a dance is a Kalas Rosh. So therefore there's no way it could work anyway. So what's the Tanai? The Tanai is that it's not a Beis Hakneses. So he says, he says, if they made the Tanai, so then it's not a shul. So then what's the point of davening there? And if they didn't make the Tanai, so then they're also to do the dances, but lav dafka, but the Tanai didn't work, so the dances are also to do it. And then it's a place which is a shul, which is the Kedushas of the shul is being mevaz of the Kedushas of the shul. So, but basically that's what he says. He says to be matter something like that, which is aser. There's no Tanai in the world that can be matter that. The only Tanai you can do is go for make it not into a shul. That's what he says. So in other words, Hayotze from this is that Kalas Rosh, there's no heter to do Kalas Rosh, unless when it was built, it was not built as a shul. And if the Tanai was coming to be matter Kalas Rosh means any sort of parties or whatever, and Moshe does say that a party, which is not a Sudas mitzvah, is a Kalas Rosh. So, and there's pretty strict definitions what's considered a Sudas mitzvah. A bris milah is a Sudas mitzvah. But not everything that people consider a mitzvah is a mitzvah. Look over there. But so he says that there's no Tanai that can be after Kalas Rosh, and if the shul is made out Tanai to be a hall that's going to be used for parties like that, so it's not a shul. That's the only way you can. It's the only way you can justify that. However, the heter for achila v'shtila, it really depends. If it's achila v'shtila, like shal shudis, the place can have chuvas, that's a sudas mitzvah, and it's also a shtickle shas atchak, like the Ramban says, because people would go home and maybe won't come back from minyanim, and so the ma'isa there's a certain shas atchak on that, and maybe a little bit eating while a person is learning Talmud, but stamazai. They even talk about the Steichen they bring that talks about serving kichel or something like by a yard site or something like that. There's no real, I didn't have kichel yesterday, so it's obviously not major shas atchak. We survived every other day of the year without the kichel. So now you need the kichel because it's the yard site. So it's not clear what that mitzvah is to do that in a Beis Hakneses.
What happens if you make it into a hall and the emes it's really for the multi-purpose? You put also davening.
So then you're losing the mile of davening in a Beis Hakneses. And also, if you raised money to make a shul, then lav dafka made a shul. So that's what I'm saying. If you go for more masne, that's the Bir Allah's chiddush and Ramosha. If you're go for masne ba'oifen that's being matter your kalas roish, the only Tanai that can do that is by making it out of shul.
How about food after a shir? Like cholent after a shir. So there you're not doing it to learn because you already did learn.
Yeah, he too is starting from Shem's and still. But anything has to do with learning is already.
Are we talking about only where you daven, or the whole binyan has this status?
No, the only Beis Medrash myself.
So that means that in the lobby is different than.
Yeah.
You're able to cut the room in half. Like this part of the room has to be if it's one room.
You could probably do whatever, I don't know. You could probably do whatever you want. I mean, and there's chuvas even that they talk about. When Moshe has chuvas, that when you made the shul bigger, let's say, we have to make a shul bigger. So now, let's say you move the Aron Kodesh from here and you move it to the middle. The middle becomes there. So now you expand there, now you move it. So now this spot was before the Aron. Now you're going to just put a regular person sitting there.
Right.
Even that, there's a shayla in the place when can you do that. But
Is Medrash and Kedushas the same thing? Did they do this?
Beneged this, not Beneged everything, but Beneged this, it's Kireger, Beral brings up a Kireger that dons, and it's not Muchach. It's not Muchach that a Beis Medrash is less. In the Kipshutai, maybe a Beis Medrash, even though it's more, since people learn their math, they're more, but it's not Muchach. Mogen Avram Kassis V'lanashim Alendim Shem B'Kviyas L'Olam Shasat Chaku Dem Yitzarach Leilach Lechav Lishtas B'Beis V'Vadi Yisbaltim L'Limudai Avim Ein Lendim B'Beis Hakneses Asur Lechav Lishtas Sham. So it has to be with the cheshbon, what's a shasat chak and what's not shasat chak. And what's tzurach l'mitzvah, what's not tzurach l'mitzvah. What's a heter kid. Not everything is so pashut. It has to be with the cheshbon of what it is. So l'maisa l'gabe, just that's just to understand a little bit the kedusha and the sugi of the kedusha. Just l'maisa to mechazik dinyan as we are beginning to enter back into the Beis Medrash and to daven in the Beis Medrash and to maintain the kedusha of the Beis Medrash. So I think the last time we spoke over here, we spoke about not talking during davening. We spoke about keeping the decorum of the davening during tefillas. So we should definitely keep that going. Last Shabbos already tried to speak about it, about being mechazik that inyan, that to keep davening, talking, whatever, and also. If a person is Kalas Roish, Stomach, a lot of times things on phones and people share, oh look, I saw this, and all that. There's probably no heter for that, amongst other things, but anything which is mamash like Kalas Roish like that, watching a video, the stomach's Kalas Roish and it's also. And Bechlal, I think that we can make a suggestion that during davening, altogether, now that we have an opportunity to read Mechazik in this Indian, is that during davening, really, phones should really be off limits completely. Even if it's a person's phone between and Chazar shots and this and I finished my answer earlier, a couple minutes. Lamaisa, really, a person's phone should be out of the Beis Medrash.
Even if the phone is their sitter.
Right. Even if the phone is a sitter and it really should be off limits during davening completely and should be left outside l'chatchila and for sure on silent, not even vibrate. A person should just keep their phone out of Beis Medrash as much as possible during davening for sure, so you can concentrate, and for the Kedushas Beis Medrash, Beis Hakneses. And other times that person Beis Medrash also not to get interrupted from the phone and leave it as silent and away as much as possible. I think that would be an appropriate Kabbalah for the Olam Tzazamen to mechazik in those inyanim regarding the Kedushas Beis Hakneses, and as a tzibur, the tefillas and the learning could be mischazik if we concentrate on this inyan, the talking during davening and the phones as the distractions. Mitzvah should be that could be a Kabbalah moving forward that will enhance the Kedushas Beis Hakneses, Kedushas Beis Medrash, and our own tefillah and learning. And Mitzvah that will be the beginning of coming in, and it will be a tremendous chizuk for the entire team. We should pray for them, right?